Hey there, my friend. Today, I decided to bring you 6 news updates, one for each goal we scored against Ross County. Here's what we'll cover in today's video. Clement confirms that a one-time £11 million star could leave Rangers despite the Ross County masterclass. Brighton pulls rank on Rangers as both Abdallah Sima and Felipe Clement want an Ibrox return. Rangers make an approach to seal Jackson Porozzo transfer as demands emerge. What Felipe Clement told Rangers hitman Cyril Desires after he sacrificed a hat-trick chance. Felipe Clement is adamant that Rangers can finally beat Celtic after coming really close last season. Rangers deal for Manchester United ace Hannibal Mabry gets the green light. Make sure to hit the like button on the video and drop a comment about which goal you thought was the best yesterday. Just a reminder, I can't show the goals due to copyright restrictions. Rabbi Matondo, the Welsh winger who's been more in and out of the team than a yo-yo, might be on his way to Blackburn Rovers. Yep, you heard that right. Blackburn's boss John Eustace has openly said they're interested, and now there's talk that a double deal could be on the cards with Rangers eyeing up Blackburn's midfielder Lewis Travis in return. Now, I know what you're thinking. Matondo's shown flashes of brilliance, but consistency? Not so much. The lad's got pace to burn. And when he's on, he's really on, as we saw in that 6-0 hammering of Ross County where he bagged 2 goals and 2 assists. But let's be honest, those performances have been as rare as a sunny day in Glasgow. Felipe Clement, ever the diplomat, has played his cards close to his chest, saying Matondo will likely stay unless someone coughs up enough cash. But let's be real, with the kind of wages Matondo's supposedly on, something like £34,000 a week, you can see why Rangers might be tempted to let him go, especially if it means bringing in someone like Travis who could really shore up the midfield. It's a tricky one, though. Matondo has the potential to be a game-changer, but with his history of injuries and inconsistent form, you have to wonder if a fresh start might be best for all involved. Meanwhile, Travis, who's already been spotted at Rangers' training ground, could bring the stability and grit Clement's squad desperately needs. So will we see Matondo swap the blue of Rangers for the white of Blackburn? And will Travis be pulling on a Rangers shirt soon? With the transfer window ticking down, we won't have to wait long to find out. Keep your eyes peeled. Things are about to get interesting, but Clement's verdict was, I think he's gonna stay, yeah, otherwise somebody needs to come with enough money. So that you never know in the last week, but my idea is that he will be here this season. It looks like Brighton has flexed their Premier League muscles and put the brakes on any hopes Rangers had of bringing Abdallah Sima back to Rangers. Now, we all know Felipe Clement was keen on getting the Senegalese forward back in blue this season. The man even had a chat with Sima, crossing fingers that something might happen later in the transfer window. But instead, Sima's been whisked off to Brest in League One. No option to buy, mind you. Just a straight loan deal. Derek Ferguson, who's clearly just as disappointed as the rest of us, reckons this is all about Brighton trying to get their man's stock up in a more prominent market. You can't really blame them, can you? They've got a talented player, and with him heading into the last year of his contract after this loan, they're trying to cash in. And what better stage than League One with a bit of Champions League football thrown in for good measure? Ferguson pointed out that Sima would have loved to be back at Rangers, and honestly, who wouldn't? The fans adore him. He was banging in goals left, right, and center, and Clement himself was all praises. But Brighton's got their own game plan. They've sent him to a bigger league to increase his value. It's all about the money, isn't it? And Rangers, despite wanting him back, just couldn't match what was on offer. It's a bitter pill to swallow, especially since Sima was still eyeing a return to Glasgow right up until the French deal was done. The lad even took to Instagram to give a nod to the fans and Clement, which tells you he was hoping for a different outcome too. So it's a missed opportunity for Rangers, no doubt. And with Oscar Cortez now injured, it feels like a bit of a double whammy. Rangers are in the mix to snag a new defender, and it's no surprise given how shaky things have been at the back. They've set their sights on Jackson Porozzo, a young Ecuadorian center-back from Troyes. Sounds promising, right? Well, not so fast. Apparently, the French club's demands were a bit too much for Rangers' liking, so now they're sniffing around for other options. With Ben Davies packing his bags for a loan stint at Birmingham City, the defense is looking a bit thin. Sure, we've got some experience with the likes of Leon Balogun and James Tavernier, But let's be honest, they're not getting any younger. Robin Proper's still finding his feet, and John Souttar's got his moments, but consistency? That's another story. Now, Perozzo could have been a decent fit. He's young, got some international caps under his belt, and could bring some much-needed energy to the back line. But Clement's got his work cut out for him. He's got just over 5 days to sort things out before the transfer window slams shut. The big question is, will these last-minute signings shore up the defense or just add more headaches? Either way, if Rangers are serious about giving Celtic a run for their money this season, they need to lock things down at the back and get a bit more ruthless up front. Cyril Desires, who's had his fair share of critics, has just bagged 2 goals and is on the brink of a hat trick. But instead of going for glory, Desires is subbed off to make way for Danilo, the Brazilian striker who's just come back from a 6-month injury nightmare. Now you'd think Desires might be a bit miffed at missing out on that hat trick, but Clement's got nothing but praise for him. He gives Desires a big pat on the back as he comes off, calling him the ultimate team player. You see, Clement's not just about the goals, he's about the bigger picture. He's thrilled with how Desires is becoming more than just a goal machine. Clement spills the beans, saying, "I told him, I'm giving Danilo some minutes because he's worked hard to get back from injury." And that's the thing with Cyril. He's not just about himself. He's the kind of guy who cheers on his teammates, even the ones gunning for his spot. He's out there giving tips to the likes of Danilo and Hamza Igamani during training. And here's the kicker. Clement wishes he'd met Desires when he was younger. Even at 29, Clement believes Desires is still evolving, becoming more crucial to the team not just by scoring goals, but in ways that go unnoticed. Desires is getting the hang of his role, connecting more with the team and doing all the right things with and without the ball. So, while Desires didn't get that hat trick, he's clearly winning in Clement's book, proving that he's more than just a striker. He's a vital cog in the Rangers machine. So Philippe Clement is all fired up and ready to finally end Rangers' old firm drought against Celtic. The big man at Rangers reckons it's time to put an end to all that talk about not beating Celtic, and he's got his eyes set on doing just that at Celtic Park. Now you might be thinking, here we go again. But Clement's got a point. Rangers haven't managed to take down their fierce rivals since that 2022 Scottish Cup semi-final. Yeah, it's been a while. And let's be honest, Clement's not had much luck against Brendan Rodgers either, losing 3 out of 4 since he took over from Michael Beale. But after a cracking 6-0 demolition of Ross County at Hampton, he's feeling pretty bullish about their chances at Parkhead next Sunday. Here's what Clement had to say. And you can almost hear the steely determination in his voice. "We're going to prep like never before to be ready for this one. No parking the bus, no hoping for some miracle. We're going out there, full throttle, aiming for all 3 points." And when asked why he thinks this time will be different, he's quick to remind us, "We were really close last season, at Rangers in the Scottish Cup final. We matched them in possession, we matched them in chances. The difference? 1 moment of efficiency on their part and we didn't take our chances. But this is a new game with some new faces, and I'm curious, but positive, about how they'll handle their first Old Firm experience." He's not just relying on the old guard either. Clement's looking to bring in some fresh faces this week to bolster the squad before the big day. So, Rangers fans, get ready. Because come next Sunday, Clement's boys are coming out swinging, and he's backing them to finally take down Celtic at their own ground. Imagine this. Rangers are eyeing up Manchester United's young star Hannibal Mabry, and let me tell you, this could be a cracking deal. Dan Bardell, who knows his football, reckons the lad would be a great fit at Rangers, especially after a tough stint in Spain with Sevilla last season. So, here's the lowdown. Hannibal's a tenacious midfielder full of energy, and Manchester United had big hopes for him. Just because things didn't go his way in Spain doesn't mean he's lost his touch. Bardell's saying Rangers should snap him up, whether it's a permanent deal or just a loan. And honestly, it makes sense. The kid's got the grit that could really shine in the Scottish Premiership. With Rangers losing John Lundstrom and Ryan Jack, they could do with someone like Hannibal in the middle of the park. Pair him up with a more technical player like Connor Barron, and you've got a midfield duo that could really make a difference in the title race. So if you ask me, this could be one of those signings that flies under the radar, but ends up being a masterstroke. Hannibal's got the drive, the talent, and the hunger to prove himself, and Rangers might just be the place for him to do that. Now, let's see if Felipe Clement can get this deal over the line before someone else swoops in.